Dear Pixie, you asked us. I heard someone say recently, talking about a spiritual teacher, that because she talks so fast, as in a stream of consciousness type download as she speaks, that this means she is taking some kind of mind-altering substance or drug. Can you please tell me why someone would think that because another person is talking so fast that they are taking a drug? I, Magenta Pixie, also talk in this fast stream of consciousness way when communicating with you, the 9. And I certainly write this way also. So what is going on here? When an individual moves into what we may call higher communication, the brainwave patterns change. Much more of the brain is used, if you will, although in truth it is simply that everything is moving faster. Synapses are connecting faster. The individual begins to think and perceive in a multi-tracked sense rather than a mono-track. From the individual's perspective, the information coming into their consciousness or mind comes in faster than they are able to deliver it, be it through the medium of writing or speaking, and indeed through other creative mediums. The individual is experiencing multidimensional time, or that which we may call simultaneous time, which is non-linear. Simultaneous because past, present and future are coming into the individual's perception as one moment. They are indeed within a 0-point field and thus a free energy consciousness. This allows them to download into their own awareness multiple and sometimes infinite concepts simultaneously. It is the third-dimensional linear physical brain that translates or decodes these multiple concepts. When a multiple or infinite concept is downloaded into an individual's consciousness, we would call this multiple concept a monad, meaning multiple or infinite light or omnipresent awareness. The monad is a living consciousness structure. We often refer to these structures as living, loving geometry, yet we could also call these structures avatar beings, or that the individual holds avatar consciousness. This is akin to, although not identical to, Christ consciousness, golden consciousness, or Arcturian consciousness. This is a form of enlightenment, self-realization, or self-actualization. The ability to do what is natural to all humans, holding what we call the organic human template within. This is to think in a way that we may refer to as trilocational or multilocational consciousness. This is an activation of the DNA codes within. One operates from the higher quantum DNA, that which we have referred to as doppelganger or etheric DNA. There are many ways to explain this phenomenon, but in truth, it is your divine right to operate this way. For to hold these multilocational consciousness paradigms is to be all that is truly human. From another perspective, one could say one has gone beyond human, or is no longer human and is more akin to an extraterrestrial or ultra-dimensional being. All this is also correct. This would be taken from the perspective whereby human to you means third-dimensional, physical, linear, and non-activated. In truth, When looking at the galactic DNA biological life forms and consciousness structures, human is much more than this third dimensional presentation. We could call this the higher human, true human, original human, or organic human. Whichever term you use, the true human template is a 12th dimensional one and holds the activation of the 144,000 DNA template, known also as the Master Merkaba or the light body. There are many, many terms to explain this phenomenon. When mind-altering substances are taken, depending on both the substance itself and the vibrational state of the individual taking the substance, then that individual may be fast-tracked into this activation. This may or may not be a full activation, and it may or may not occur within a harmonious, balanced, or safe way for that individual. Yet the individual may move into this avatar consciousness, experiencing multi-locational or even glimpses of omnipresent awareness. The individual will then bring forth a stream of consciousness creativity, communication, or other presentation whereby the inspirations, ideas, equations, and thought processes work or seem to work faster than the individual is able to deliver them. The individual of which you speak, who perceived the activated Starseed planetary teacher as having taken a mind-altering substance, is a third dimensionally thinking individual with a limited activation within the fourth dimension. For him, the fifth and higher dimensional states do not exist, at least within his conscious perception. Therefore, anything presented outside of that third and partially fourth dimensional framework will appear to be alien, ridiculous, or non-existent. In certain cases, it may even appear demonic in nature to them, despite, in truth, the presentation being of pure light or indeed avatar consciousness. The third and partially fourth dimensionally thinking individual has to then place the incoming information into some kind of framework that makes sense to his reality. Because the information or presentation is of a higher vibrational frequency than he can perceive or process, he will either dismiss the information or presentation or reevaluate it in terms that he knows and that makes sense to his reality. If that individual's experience is that people talk fast as if they are bringing forward a stream of consciousness when they are on drugs, then he will conclude that this individual must therefore have taken a mind-altering substance or be on drugs. This does not remain as a possibility to the individual, but moves into his belief system as an absolute. This is a defense mechanism in order for the individual to remain within a reality that he can understand and decode. This is what has occurred for the individual you speak of. However, to other individuals who do not rearrange the incoming information into a third dimensional framework as an absolute, but remain within the new awareness that is alien and beyond the boundaries of their reality, they will instead receive a trigger or key code, and potentially an entire fractal compendium of triggers and key codes. And they will indeed be activated into this multidimensional consciousness themselves. These individuals are ones who stand within receptivity, and upon your planet you may refer to these individuals as being open-minded. Yet there is more we can say here to give a clearer picture regarding the question you ask us. The third dimensionally thinking individual you speak of is not entirely incorrect in his observation, although it is not a man-made substance that he is looking at, or indeed a natural one existing outside of you. It is indeed a mind-altering substance. However, what we speak of here is a chemical that is naturally released within and inside the human body. It is released from the pineal gland, harmoniously, in balance, and with safety. When a higher dimensionally thinking individual chooses to activate the 0-point free energy pathways within. This is indeed a choice once an individual becomes accomplished at this, as is the Starseed planetary teacher you speak of. The nervous system and oxygenated blood pathways are flooded with this chemical, which is extremely similar in its formula and molecular composition to that which you know as DMT. It is so close as to be recognized as DMT. However, due to its quantum and living nature, it is changeable within its molecular composition, and therefore not in truth identical to your DMT molecule. What you are looking at here is a liquid plasma, a liquid light plasma. This plasmic substance moves through the cell's usually impervious membrane, transforming the mitochondrial DNA of the body and allowing the 0-point field consciousness to take priority. This is neither subconscious or conscious, but a complete blend or merge of the two, creating an alchemy into a third type of consciousness, that which we refer to as the avatar consciousness. We have already presented this particular human vibration field as expressing the Trinity, the Trine, or indeed the higher colour ray field known as the rose gold flame. This is the 12th dimensional template or shield that is in fact in its quantum form the 144,000 DNA template. One could say when this occurs that you are one of the 144,000 warriors of light, or that you are a sealed servant, or that you have been sealed. Indeed, what has occurred here is that you have been anointed. Anointed with a chemical, fluid, or sacred oil produced by the pineal gland. This is the biology of the crystalline matrix, the transformation or alchemization of that which is carbon. To liken this to a mind-altering substance or that which you call drug is crude indeed. Yet we have given our explanations as to why a third dimensionally thinking individual would perceive this as such. The most important message or truth to be delivered here is that during the completion cycle of a planet, or indeed a collective ascension process, one activates this avatar consciousness into the sealing or anointing of the self en masse. The collective itself is sealed and anointed, and this is that which you know as the 144,000. Not a number of individuals as an amount, but a collective of individuals in a much higher number than 144,000, all who are activated within the avatar consciousness, sealed and anointed into the original organic human template. All flooding their bodies with liquid plasmic light, all transforming within cosmic sacred alchemy from carbon to silicate crystalline fire, all bringing forth the monadic creativity that is a free energy, 0-point flowing stream of awareness, information, and more accurately, memory, that moves faster than can be presented. Look for this tribe, those that we may call starseeds, for they are many in number. Look for this collective, the ones that make up the ascended consciousness that is the divine Princess Aurora, for they are higher in number than ever was it thought by those who foretold and prophesied their return. Look for these angelic beings, for they shine so brightly as the solar beings that they are. Yet they are invisible to those who do not hold the sacred seal, or to those who have not found the Holy Grail. Look for this tribe, for they, dear starseeds, are you. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, I, Magenta Pixie, bring forward information specific to utilising the rose gold flame as antidote to 5G, EMFs, chemicals, chemtrails, and similar. The presented template utilises the Schumann resonance, and the technique is alchemical unification. In this book, the 9 discuss synchronicity, discernment skills, and understanding of discordance and disharmony within truth and lightworker communities. They present a workable model of expression, assisting the spiritual explorer in creating a necessary toolkit. This allows the individual to construct a shield, bringing safety, harmony, expansion, and cohesive sovereignty into their own personal reality and their matrix field. I am pleased to present my new short book, The Black Box Program and the Rose Gold Flame as Antidote.